Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
How about them Cowboys? Welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm here, host Mike, and today I'm joined by Miguel and Mark at the same time.
Woo.
How's it going, fellas?
You can't see you, Mike. We blinded by the sun coming out.
Yeah, it's a little bright here, my guy.
It's bright.
Can you put the shades up?
I know, right? Blinded.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It's unreal. It's unreal how they build a $1.2 billion stadium and they don't account for the sun.
And yet they kind of do because they have blinds that they'll use for any other event.
Right.
Not for football.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. If you go to like concerts, afternoon concerts, they have blinds up.
Yeah, I just sent to the chat. There's videos of them actually have the technology to block out the sun in that stadium. It's wild.
What's even better? Did you see the press or the post game press conference?
Yes,
where there's still a window with light right on them. So what they put a shade up.
They put a shade in front of Mike McCarthy while he's talking to the press. So the sun's on in his eyes.
So when do you think they're going to announce a new coach for the Dallas Cowboys?
They're not because they're going to make him finish out the season because that would be that's the worst thing you could possibly do for him.
They're going to make him finish out the season, but when are they going to announce Deion's the new coach? Because that's at this point.
It's inevitable at this point, right?
Well, the Giants currently have the number one pick, so technically,
Giants are going to beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So,
if you think that the Giants are be dumb enough to take Shadur Sanders. Never mind, they are. Never mind.
It's possible. It's possible.
Talking about Joe Shane over there. Like, come on.
Man.
That's true. Well, the Eagles aren't in the market for Saquon, so we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, man. No, there's definitely better quarterbacks out. I'm not taking Shadur Sanders, my guy. Mm-hmm. Dallas is taking Shadur.
Dallas is because Deion's going to be coaching, but
Dallas gets Deion, trades Dak to the Giants for that first round pick.
Oh. Yeah. So anyway, here we are coming after a giant Cowboys beatdown.
Yep.
Beatdown. Eagles 34-6. Dallas. I was able to go back and watch the first couple of plays. My TV wasn't working, but Eagles didn't look too put together in those first couple of drives.
Nope.
No, but you know what? They had all that sunlight in their eyes, so I'm starting to get it.
It was the sunlight. Yeah.
No, they definitely have some issues. You're not wrong.
There was some issues there against the team that, is very, very. I think the
Cowboys are bad.
They're bad. I think they're really bad. They're really bad.
It's so bad that at one point they put Trey Lance in, took him out.
Juggling back and forth.
They put him back in. He threw a pick. He was like, let me do my best Dak impression.
That was like the weirdest, watching that happen. I was like, what is going on here?
So, if I may, just to help this game up, I got a stat for you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I might have shared it with you guys already, but for the rest of the group out there, whoever's listening, did you know the Cowboys this Sunday are the second team in NFL history to have at least 17 passes and finish with fewer than 50 net passing yards?
Oof.
That's
the
wild.
Only other team in NFL history to complete that stat, the New York Giants 3 weeks ago against the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
Defense. Let's go.
Yeah, Eagles defense, man. For such a young group, they have been putting up some numbers.
We talked about it, though, earlier in the year when we were kind of struggling. I was like, you know what, though? It's a young group, so I'm not going to hate because they're going to develop.
Yeah. They're developing pretty well.
Coming alive. The corners are,
like Quinyon Mitchell. It's Mitchell Island, right? Because he's shutting down all these guys.
Everybody's getting shut down.
I think there was a stat up there that said that he has the highest
shutdown percentage or something like
Yeah,
that.
ranking of like
Number
receivers
one.
with less catches or less amount of yards caught against or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
I will say,
and he has gone up with some big numbers too. Like Chase, Jamar Chase is one of the 18 yards.
Without the help from Jerry Jones, I think he lets up one touchdown this past weekend because I think in any other stadium in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb does not miss that ball that comes directly to his hands.
Yeah,
That was unreal. On the other hand, though, I want to make another point. When we talked about score last week, Miguel,
Yeah.
I think you're dead on for their score, right? You said 6 points?
I said 6
no,
points.
Mike said 6 points.
Oh, 6 points? Okay. And then I remember I purposely quoted, I said 9. I said, why? I said, there's one person on Dallas we can't stop from scoring. And I was right.
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Aubrey, that's all he scored.
He didn't do as well as I thought, but I knew it. I said, hey, the only one we're not able to stop is Aubrey because that man can hit a 60-yarder. And what does he do? Hits 2.
Gets 2. Hey, it was a great win. You know, the be able to bury Dallas in Dallas. That's pretty much the nail in their season right there because Dak officially is out for the season now. He just had surgery on his hamstring.
Right.
And so now he's officially out for the season.
I really wish I would have at that game, blinded by the light. Blinded by anyway. Go Birds. It's been a good
There's
time.
really not much to say. I think it was pretty self-explanatory. You know, this beatdown, and
I mean, there's still some things we can take away from it. I think that Hurts needs to make decisions a little faster. There's definitely a few plays on there where he sat with it too long. Obviously, some of those later plays in the late second half, late first half, early second half, with the sunlight in his eyes, I can't blame him as much. I said it even in the during game recording. It's like clearly he couldn't see. Then again, clearly, so the Cowboys had the same issue very shortly afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you set yourself up knowing this would be in your opponent's quarterback's eyes. However, when you flip it around, it's in your receiver's eye.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even Jalen said that he didn't play a good game himself. Like he could have done better. But the one interception that he threw into the end zone there, he said he should have went to Calcaterra instead of throwing it to Goddard.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. The fact that he could have those mistakes and still walk away with a blowout win like that, he can do that, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing.
It's not sustainable.
You're supposed to be able to put bad teams away. Dallas is a bad team, and we've been able to do that so far this year. We've done it with, the Saints were kind of looking good at the time that we played them, but looking back now, they're probably just as bad as Dallas was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or worse.
Cincinnati's probably not as good as everybody thought they were going to be this year. So, we put bad teams away, and that's the thing that we need to continue doing.
And speaking of bad teams, on Thursday, the Eagles are not going to be facing a bad team. They'll be facing the 7-3 Washington Commanders.
Yep.
It's probably going to be the best Thursday night game this year. Would you say?
I'll be missing it because I have to work.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
That's weird. It's funny because
you might come down with something.
It's weird that you're getting sick on Thursday.
Yeah, you don't look too good, Miguel. So the Eagles are going to be at home against the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are coming off of a loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was a close game.
So
they've been in a lot of close games.
I'll say it's been a lot of close. Right, to start the season, okay, the Commanders lost to the Buccaneers, who we also lost to, so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They then beat the Giants by 3. They then beat the Bengals by 5. They whooped on the Cardinals, who beginning of the season looked bad.
Right now they've turned their season around.
It's funny because all these teams seem to have that. Like they beat the Browns. The Browns look bad. The Browns are now on the winning streak. They lost to the Ravens. The Ravens didn't switch back. They're not bad. They lost to the Ravens. They whooped on the Panthers, who seem to have some growing trend. They beat the Bears, who really aren't as good as everyone had hoped they were going to be. They again beat the Giants, but not even by a touchdown. They lost to the Steelers, who the Steelers don't look great either. Like the Steelers
have a very good defense. Steelers have a very good defense.
Yeah, they do.
Their offense isn't so great.
I say it's weird. It's like no team looks complete this year. Like I said, I was watching, I had on all the games like always. Denver should have beat Kansas City. There's so much baloney in that game. But, Kansas City wins again by what, like a point, and their offense looks abysmal. They're undefeated.
Yeah,
the Commanders have been winning. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take it away from them, but they haven't. I don't think they are as good as everyone thinks they are. Like they're missing a lot.
Well, they're close games against, like, Giants was a close game.
They're close games against not good teams.
Exactly. And so in my mind that they're going to come against the Eagles, and the Eagles are a much better team than those teams they've beaten. Like, maybe the Ravens, questionable, but they're better than the Bengals. They're better than the Giants.
Yeah, but I mean, they beat the Bears with one offensive touchdown. You know,
that was luck. That was luck.
Exactly, pure luck touchdown too. But they beat them with one offensive touchdown.
Yeah.
This past week against the Steelers, they had 3, but they're all rushing touchdowns, no air yards against them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I'm going back through it. Like I've checked out a lot of their games where it's kind of like it's weird to look at the fact that they're, first of all, I guess it's just the fact that we're Eagles fans, and seeing the Commanders ever be above 500 is weird. Mm-hmm. It's really weird. Except the one year when all of us should have made the playoffs, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
The small stat I heard is like this is the first time that these two teams have faced that have more than one win over 500 since the 80s.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a wild stat to think about that.
Yeah.
Because the Washington hasn't been good for a long time.
But the last championship was 92.
Yeah, and so if they, because then in the 80s the Eagles were not
32 years since they won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I know because I'm old.
That's a crazy stat right there. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, to me, this game comes down to which quarterback takes care of the ball, and which one outplays the other. Simple as that.
Well,
I will say, I think the biggest thing is Brian Robinson playing, because I think he is truly a phenomenal running back when he's healthy.
Questionable right now.
I know, which for fantasy sucks. For the Eagles, that's great. I will say, because it's such a short week, he might not play, and I'm okay with that. Their receivers are not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Terry always has problems with this, but
Terry.
I like Quinyon. I like Cooper DeJean. CJD is looking good again. I like our secondary, boys. Our D line's looking great, and I can't get enough of our linebackers. I can't. The name's out of the front.
Got your Dean.
I'm gonna wear this every. I started wearing this at the bye week for every game. Haven't stopped wearing it.
You know, the fact that Dean was on the he didn't practice today, which is Wednesday. He didn't practice. No, today's Tuesday. He didn't practice today. Tuesday. Probably a rest. I think he'll play on Thursday. But Zach Bond is the one that it really stands out because he's been the highest graded linebacker the past 3 weeks of the NFL.
Tackles.
And so if the Eagles defense continues with this momentum of allowing like no offensive touchdowns whatsoever, I think the Commanders are in trouble.
Real quick, Howie Roseman, if you get rid of Vaughn, Dean, any of our young youth in our corners, secondary, and D line, I'm hunting you down with a shoe. All right? I like who we have. Leave them alone.
Well, I don't know if you caught Saquon Barkley talking to a certain Micah Parsons on after the game. During the game, did you hear that Michael Parsons and Saquon work out
all the time
in the offseason?
No, I didn't hear that.
And that Saquon was part of Michael Parsons' trip or like a visit to Penn State, and Saquon's reason why Micah Parsons came to Penn State. Tell me you don't want to be an Eagle without telling me you don't want to be an Eagle. Like, I
mean, they had that little one moment where they whispered to each other.
It was a moment. It was a moment, and if I'm a betting man, which
I am.
I am. he's going to be an Eagle sooner rather than later.
Oh, definitely. That's what he told me. We have the audio. Listen. Ooh, I talked to Howie. He's going to get you up. He's going to pick you up.
So you know what it was?
Easy.
Micah came across that field and get me out of here.
Yeah.
You guys want another D lineman to talk about real quick though, because I wanted to bring this up. We got a little guy on our team. Little guy. You might have heard of him. His name's Carter. So he played at a little school you might have heard called Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was younger, he played against some team called the LSU Tigers, which may or may not have had a player named Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
This is the last play these two had together in college.
Holding him like a child,
celebrating a sack. Because at that point, the refs were like, stop it. And rather than put the man down, he goes, no, I'm going to hold him one-handed and just tell y'all I got this.
Yeah.
I want to see it, boys.
Yeah, and also they could say, Jaden is hurt too. He's got those cracked ribs. There's the excuses. You can hear the excuses coming.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you're Jaden Daniels and you actually do have a cracked rib, do you want to face Jalen Carter?
No.
Nah,
no. Send Marcus out there.
Yeah, right. Hey, you missed the Eagles, right? Go play them for a week for me.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's be a Micah Parsons coming here and joining with that group.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no to that. But it would definitely be an
I feel like we won't see him until the end of his career. Then I feel like Jerry Jones is not as psycho as he is. I feel like he's not as stupid as the Giants, and he's gonna be like, I don't want that.
A free agent is a free agent, so he can go and do whatever he wants.
No, he's gonna offer that man money.
Is he enough money to stay in Dallas or just?
Yeah, it's Jerry Jones. He will rip off Goodell's ear and be like, look, you need to make a clause where we're allowed to play one player without affecting the salary cap.
Right.
He's like, all right, Micah, $200 million a year.
Yes, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to because sure as enough is he wants to be an Eagle and he wants to play with Saquon.
Or he'll pamper and he'll make a deal outside of it. Look, go anywhere you want. If you don't go to the Eagles, I'll give you $50 million, little side pocket per year.
Right.
Not the Eagles,
right?
And, he'll be like,
"You mad?" You're like, "Nah."
I mean, $50 million extra. Sheesh.
Anything to go to the Birds. Anything.
That'd be nice. That'd be great.
So Thursday night, let's do our one word for this past game against the Cowboys.
Okay,
and let's give us a little bit of thoughts on the Commanders and a score. Miguel, you're up.
Oh boy. One word for this past week against Dallas would be
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say unimpressed.
Unimpressed. I was like, you used that
last week, right? 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago, you did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the Bengals, you said unimpressed.
Right.
He's an Eagles fan. He's unimpressed.
Not impressed.
Because
not impressed.
Because you're supposed to beat bad teams.
True.
The way that we did this week. That's what you're supposed to do. So I can't.
I think it's different with the division.
If we play Washington and we beat them the way we beat Dallas this week, then I'll be impressed.
Then you should be. Are you entertained? Are you not entertained?
I am not entertained. I am frustrated. I'm a frustrated fan. I'm frustrated with all of Philadelphia sports right now. Whether it be the Eagles, the Sixers, the Phillies, like I am in a negative space with all of them.
Oh, is your Negadelphia coming out?
It definitely is full force. Full force.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But I thought I'm going a different direction. I thought he was going to go the same way as me. My one word is going to be shining.
Shining.
Because the defense was shining as bright as that sun.
My word for that Cowboys game is beat down.
Beat down.
Beat down the Cowboys. Beat down that fan base. beat down that team, thinking that they are America's team. Beat that out of them. They are not America's team.
Look, I know it wouldn't have gone over well, but I really wanted CJ GJ when he made that pick to run to the middle of the star and just stand there and drop the ball from behind his back.
Oh,
like he just
yeah.
It would have gone over well, and our late game would have gone really bad against them, I'm sure. But
was anybody else annoyed at the Dallas Cowboys helmets with the red?
Bro, yes. What was the French flag, bro?
French flag. It's America's colors.
It's funny you say that because my sister-in-law said that. She's like, it's giving very France.
Yeah, I was like, what is this Le Petit team? Like, what is this?
Hey, maybe it's a hint that they're gonna move. They're gonna go play in France,
Paris.
Maybe. Never know.
Yeah.
I think I heard that Goodell wants to play. I think 8 games abroad next year.
Thinking about abroad games.
8 games.
Did either of you catch the morning game? Because originally I wasn't going to watch it. That turned out to be a game.
No,
Germany got the 2 worst teams in the league to play. Germany got the 2 worst team in the leagues to show up and play, and they actually gave them a game to watch. Went to overtime.
Giants are bad.
Well, when 2 teams are bad, it makes it look like they're good teams. But
yeah.
I heard at one point that the crowd started chanting Bench Jones in German.
In German?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was a good time.
That's great.
Yeah,
there's I know that there's rumor. I think it's Dallas and the Rams. It had to either be the agreement was either the Rams or the Eagles, and I think they made it Dallas and Rams are supposed to play in Australia either next year or in 2026.
Well, there's like
Australia,
an Ireland game. They win an Ireland game.
They have at least 2 Germany games next year. I think Mexico and Brazil both want a game. I think they're only going to give 1 to South America. Not sure which. But yeah, I think there's only 2 NFL fan bases with permission, or 2 teams with permission to advertise in Australia. That's the Rams and the Eagles, and which is weird, but I love it. And so the agreement was that one of those 2 teams had to be the teams that play down there. And I think that they chose the Rams because we just lost a game to Brazil this year. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the rumors, that it's the Rams and Cowboys either next year or the following in Australia.
But does the NFL not take into the logistics of getting a whole team to 24-hour flight across the world? Like,
they make it happen.
That's a lot.
I don't know if you saw, the Eagles just put up a video about how they got all their stuff from Philly to Brazil. Mm-hmm. They put stuff on a boat like a month before the game, and it was just sent on a boat there. And then they flew a lot of other stuff too. It's like, it's insane the amount of things that they got to send just to be ready to equip to play for an NFL game.
I think the only team that doesn't struggle with this is the Jaguars. I think they have like a second, home base built in London at this point.
Yeah, sure. They play the most games.
They just have like a Jaguars headquarters in London.
Yeah. They might just call them the London Jaguars now.
Yeah, that was the thing where they were going to move there, but they just got approved for a new facility, so they're not going anywhere.
It'll be a dome.
All right. Let's go with scores. Miguel, what do you got for a score, buddy?
Oh, man, Mike. It's going to be a slobber knocker as
Jerry.
Yes, Jerry. Not Jerry. What's his name? I forget his name now. Jim Ross.
Jim Ross.
As Jim Ross would say, it's going to be a slobber knocker.
No comment.
I feel like this game is going to be a lot closer than this Dallas game was. I figure to be I want to say a 28-17 Eagles victory.
28-17. Yeah, it's close. It's close. I say, I was going to say 34-17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can see him putting up another 34 points. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that's averaging 3 touchdowns a game this year. So, yeah, 34-17. Mr. Mark?
Real checking something.
He's doing math over there.
I know math.
Scoopy deep deep beep deep.
All right. So
80085.
We're going into what? Week 10?
This is week 11.
Week 11. Week 11. All right. So week 11, a short week. Okay. Now, the Commanders just had a hard-fought game against the Steelers. Their players had to play the whole game.
Yes.
We played a game where our players took a little bit of a break at the end. Now, granted, we had a little more travel. They didn't have nearly the amount of travel. They also haven't had a bye week yet. They're beat up.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired. Their wins haven't really been impressive, minus the Panthers, but it's Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, since our bye week, 20 points, not great. 28 points, pretty good. 37, 28, 34. Thursday night, primetime game. Philly's feeling it. I'm going to be stupid.
Uh-oh.
All right. 42-12.
42-12.
We are going to show everyone why we're number one in the division and why the Lions got to keep their eyes in the back of their head because we're coming for that NFC championship.
Yeah, the Lions, they struggled against the Texans. There's
They played some Chiefs
Jared
football.
Goff threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah,
And they still won the game.
They played some Pat Mahomes football. Throw the ball anywhere you want, doesn't matter. You're still going to win.
Amazing game. I fell asleep thinking, "No, this game's done," and then wake up and the Lions won. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was watching that game. They were the last team on my parlay that needed to win, and I'm so happy they came back and won.
Oh, congratulations on the parlay.
My last team I needed to win was Atlanta, who didn't win. It was the Saints, my guy. Everyone else I chose won. It was like a $5 bet into like an $80, and the Saints were like, "We're gonna ruin that for you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I only won $17 on that. Don't make it sound like it.
You won though.
I won.
I lost $20 this week between all my parlays. My one that would have hit the most, Atlanta loses it all because Kirk Cousins doesn't play well once November starts.
Uh-oh.
He has Kirktober. Not look at it statistically. He wins like 80 or 90% of his games in October every year. It's his best month. And after that, he goes, "Ooh, time to warm by the stove and bake some turkey." And what do you mean football? I'm work at home, Kirk. Yeah.
Work at home, Kirk.
His career goes downhill.
Oh man,
Tired of it, boys.
Gentlemen, good talking to you. Eagles, I think are going to walk away with this win. I think you guys agree. We will see. Enjoy the game, Miguel. Enjoy the highlights, I guess, or the.
I'll try to probably record it off the NFL Network and watch it when I get home.
Okay.
I don't have Prime anyway, so I would have to go somewhere where there's Prime.
I mean, I would offer you to come here and watch it, but you're working.
Yeah, that's
have a little podcast watch party.
Yeah, that'd have been great, but
one day.
One day.
But you know how we do, fellas. EAGLES.
Eagles.
Let's go, birds.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's play.
There's some kind of cowboy song.
Yeah, I was gonna say play.
Do we have a country artist that made an Eagle song?
We did. Holden Barner.
Throw that on.
All right, let's go.
Got a thing for the cowgirls down in Dallas. Where I'm from, they're hard to find. Something about that silver and blue with the Tacova boot. There was a pretty one to my right when she sat down and gave me that wing. I missed the kickoff, but I didn't care. I feel like special going down at the lane. Boy, I wish she could have been there. The Cowboys are sure gonna miss her. I hate to break it to them, she looking better in green. Tomorrow she was planning on leaving, but she don't win, changed her philosophies. Was it the fans? Was it the lights? Could have been my arm wrapped around her all night. I knew she was the one when she said the words, not the words you might think. Oh man, she said go birds.